The tranquility of the Cisumdawu Toll Road was shattered. What was once a serene and peaceful stretch of highway, known for its scenic views and smooth traffic flow, suddenly became the site of a tragic accident that would leave a lasting impact on all who witnessed it. A deafening crash echoed through the air, breaking the silence of the morning. The sound was so loud that it could be heard from miles away, causing nearby drivers to stop in their tracks and look around in shock and confusion. It was 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, April 29, 2025. The day had started like any other, with commuters making their way to work and families embarking on trips. No one could have predicted the horror that was about to unfold. A minibus, carrying 7 souls on a journey from Bandung to Cirebon, slammed into the back of a Fuso box truck. The impact was catastrophic. Metal crunched against metal, and the force of the collision sent shockwaves through the vehicles involved. The minibus, bearing the license plate D7838AV, crumpled like a discarded toy. Its once sturdy frame was now a twisted mass of metal, barely recognizable as a vehicle. The front end was completely destroyed and the windows were shattered. Inside, passengers were thrown violently, their screams lost in the cacophony of destruction. The force of the impact had tossed them around like rag dolls, leaving them disoriented and injured. Some were unconscious, while others were in shock, unable to comprehend what had just happened. The truck, laden with packages, lurched forward. The driver, caught off guard by the sudden impact, struggled to regain control of the vehicle. The contents of the truck shifted, adding to the chaos inside the cabin. It screeched to a halt meters away. The driver managed to bring the truck to a stop, but the damage had already been done. The road was now a scene of devastation, with debris scattered everywhere and vehicles left in ruin. But for the minibus passengers, there was no escape from the brutal reality of the crash. The scene was chaotic. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but the extent of the injuries and the severity of the crash made their job incredibly difficult. Debris littered the asphalt, a grim testament to the force of the collision. Pieces of the minibus and truck were strewn across the road, along with personal belongings of the passengers, adding a poignant touch to the scene. And in this wreckage, a horrifying detail emerged. A passenger, ejected from the minibus on impact, lay motionless on the road. The sight was heart-wrenching, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the suddenness with which it can be taken away. The minibus had embarked on what seemed like an ordinary trip, a journey like many others before it. The passengers, unaware of what lay ahead, were simply looking forward to reaching their destination. It departed from Bandung, a city known for its vibrant culture and bustling streets, with its destination set for the equally lively city of Cirebon. The route was familiar, the road well-traveled by many. The passengers, their lives intertwined for this journey, settled into their seats. Some chatted quietly, others stared out the window, lost in thought. Each person carried their own story, their own reasons for being on that minibus. They were families, friends, individuals with hopes and dreams, unaware of the tragedy that awaited them. Kilometer after kilometer passed, the hum of the engine a constant companion. The scenery outside the windows, a blur of green and brown, held little interest. Trees, fields, and distant mountains passed by in a monotonous parade, unnoticed by the passengers. As the minibus approached kilometer marker 189 near Cimalaka Sumedang, the unthinkable occurred. The journey that had begun so routinely was about to take a tragic turn. The driver, perhaps fatigued from the long drive, perhaps distracted for a fleeting moment, failed to notice the Fuso truck ahead. His eyes, heavy with exhaustion, missed the critical signs. The truck, moving at a slower pace, became an unavoidable obstacle. Its presence on the road was a silent threat, unnoticed until it was too late. In that split second, the driver's lapse in concentration transformed a routine journey into a nightmare. The minibus, once a vessel of hope and anticipation, became the scene of an impending disaster. Horrified witnesses watched in disbelief as the tragedy unfolded. Motorists who had been traveling behind the minibus slammed on their brakes, narrowly avoiding becoming part of the carnage. Adrenaline surged as they rushed to help, their senses overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of the accident scene. One witness, shaken to the core, recalled seeing the passenger ejected from the minibus like a rag doll. Adding to the chilling narrative is the dashcam footage from a vehicle traveling behind the minibus. The video, obtained by CNN, captures the moment of impact in gut-wrenching detail. It shows the minibus colliding with the truck, the force of the crash sending shockwaves through the frame. The footage is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of a moment's inattention. First responders arrived at the scene within minutes, their sirens wailing a mournful symphony. Paramedics worked tirelessly to extricate trapped passengers from the mangled wreckage. The injured, some conscious and crying out in pain, others eerily silent, were rushed to Cisumdawu, hoping against hope that their lives could be saved. As the injured were transported, law enforcement officials began the grim task of piecing together the events leading up to the crash. Kapolres Sumedang AKBP Joko DWI confirmed the ejection of a passenger and the transportation of all victims to the hospital. "We are currently investigating the cause of the accident," he stated, his voice heavy with the weight of the tragedy. "We will be examining all possible factors, including driver error and vehicle malfunction." While the investigation is ongoing, initial findings point to a chillingly common culprit: driver drowsiness. The absence of skid marks at the scene suggests that the minibus driver did not brake before colliding with the truck. This lack of evasive action, coupled with witness accounts of the minibus drifting slightly before the crash, strongly suggests that the driver may have fallen asleep at the wheel. This tragic incident serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of drowsy driving. Fatigue impairs reaction time, judgment, and overall driving ability, turning any vehicle into a potential weapon. Drivers often underestimate the insidious nature of drowsiness, pushing their limits and putting themselves and others at risk. Section 6. A call for vigilance, preventing future tragedies. The heartbreaking accident on the Cisumdawu Toll Road is a wake-up call, a stark reminder that road safety is a shared responsibility. Every driver, passenger, and pedestrian has a role to play in ensuring that our roads are safe for everyone. Kombes Pol Dodi Darjanto, Dirlantes Polda stressed the importance of driver alertness and the need for regular breaks during long journeys. He highlighted that even a momentary lapse in concentration can lead to catastrophic consequences. Drivers must prioritize rest and recognize the signs of fatigue, he emphasized. Yawning, heavy eyelids, and difficulty focusing are clear indicators that it's time to pull over and rest. Taking a break every 2 to 4 hours can mean the difference between life and death. It's not just about reaching your destination quickly, but about arriving safely. This message cannot be overstated. Road safety campaigns and billboards serve as constant reminders, but the real change begins with individual actions. Drivers must be proactive in preventing fatigue-related accidents. Simple actions like planning your route with regular stops, staying hydrated, and ensuring you are well rested before starting your journey can make a significant difference. Planning regular stops, staying hydrated, and avoiding driving during peak sleepiness hours are crucial steps towards safer roads. Early mornings and late nights are particularly dangerous times for drowsy driving. Passengers, too, have a role to play. They can help by staying alert and engaging with the driver, ensuring they remain focused and awake. Speaking up if they observe signs of driver fatigue can avert disaster. A simple conversation or a suggestion to take a break can save lives. Together, we can prevent future tragedies and make our roads safer for everyone. Section 7. The aftermath: lives forever changed. As the dust settles on the Cisumdawu Toll Road, the true cost of this tragedy comes into sharp focus. 3 passengers, their lives cut tragically short, leave behind grieving families and friends. The injured, some facing life-altering injuries, begin their long and arduous journeys of physical and emotional healing. The community mourns the loss of life and grapples with the senselessness of the accident. Questions linger, seeking answers that may never fully come. Yet, amidst the pain and uncertainty, there is a glimmer of hope. The outpouring of support for the victims and their families serves as a reminder of the inherent goodness and resilience of the human spirit. Section 8. The long road to recovery. Victims and families grapple with loss. The road to recovery will be long and arduous for the survivors and the families of the victims. Physical injuries will heal, but the emotional scars of this tragedy may never fully fade. The trauma of the accident, the loss of loved ones, the uncertainty of the future, these are burdens that will take time and support to overcome. Cisumdawu is providing comprehensive medical care to the injured, but the need for ongoing support extends far beyond the hospital walls. Counseling, therapy, and community support groups will be crucial in helping survivors and families cope with the psychological and emotional toll of this tragedy. Section 9. Justice and Accountability, Seeking Answers and Closure. As the investigation continues, the families of the victims and the community at large demand answers. Was the driver negligent? Could this tragedy have been prevented? These questions weigh heavily on the minds of those affected, and the pursuit of justice becomes paramount. The legal process will take its course, seeking to determine accountability and, if necessary, deliver justice. But true closure may lie beyond the realm of courts and legal proceedings. It may lie in the collective efforts of the community to learn from this tragedy, to prioritize road safety, and to honor the memory of those lost by striving to prevent such heartbreaking incidents from happening again.